Okay, so in example 2, they want us to use a graph of f of x equals the square root of x to obtain the graph of g of x equals the square root of x minus 4. So let's think about this. What is this minus 4 going to do? Well, where's it located? It's inside that radical with x, and if it's inside, then we know it's going to be horizontal. Now notice it's being subtracted, so adding and subtracting means it's going to be a shift. Horizontal shifts go left or right, so if it's a minus, remember you're not going to go to the negative numbers because x always does the opposite. So we're going to go to the positive numbers, which means we're going to go to the right 4. Alright, so when we look at our parent table for the square root of x, now remember the radical tables were the funny tables. This is the one where we said we were going to use x values that we could actually take the square root of and get whole numbers. So we use 0, 1, 4, and 9. And so when we had the square root of them, we found it was 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now for this function here, we're going to take, it's the square root of x minus 4. So what is that minus 4 going to affect? Is it my x or my y's? Well, it's inside with x, so it's going to affect the x. And how's it going to affect the x? Well, it says x minus 4, but don't forget, x always does the opposite, so we're not really going to subtract 4, we're going to add 4. And there's no other numbers or anything there, so that means nothing's affecting my y. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the y from my parent table, and I'm just totally going to recopy it here. It doesn't change, there's nothing to give it a transformation. But then I'm going to take all these x's right here, and I'm going to bring them over, but I'm also going to add 4 to them. So the first one was a 0, and we're going to add 4, which gives us 4. Then it was a 1, add 4, that gives us 5. Then it was a 4, add 4, that gives us 8. And a 9 plus 4, that gives us 13. So let's go graph this. Now I do understand that your graph doesn't have 13 on it. You can go a little bit off your graph there, just kind of guesstimate it. So when we graph this, we got the ordered pair 4, 0, 5, 1, 8, 2, and then 13, 3. So just go off your graph a little bit, or even if you don't, you've got 3 points. That's enough to get the general shape. And remember, a square root graph looks like that. It only continues in one direction. And so that's how we graph a horizontal shift.